It's Matty and Patty, coast to coast. Welcome to Cleveland Sports Hour. We are two self-aware but unapologetic homers who spend far too much time watching, reading, and thinking about the defending 2016 NBA World Champion Cleveland Cavaliers. So if you like the informed, intelligent Cleveland fans' perspective on all things, you've come to the right place. From Brooklyn, this is world champion Pat McManaman. In San Francisco, I am joined by fellow world champion Matt Youngner. Say hello, champion.
Hello, champion. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just primed up for this playoff run. So this is going to be sort of an NBA playoff preview of sorts. So Thursday night, we're starting off the playoffs against the Indiana Pacers.
Finals. Oh, we're doing everything.
You
all over you.
You already played Pacers?
Yeah, that happened.
Oh, because we didn't do a podcast.
No, we've been sleeping on the job, Patty.
So what's up next? Do we get the semifinals against Raptors? We play the Raptors now?
Oh, Patty. This is like a Rip Van Winkle situation. We took care of them.
Oh, you care? Oh, great.
Yeah.
So this must be the Eastern Conference Finals against, obviously the Wizards, right?
You know what? You would think that happened. No. Yeah. No. Boston lucked their way into one. And the Wizards sort of screwed up too. Oh yeah.
And so we're about to have the series against the Celtics then, right?
No, Patty. I hate to break this to you.
What? I missed the whole playoffs?
We missed it all. Well, not all. Not all.
So Cavs are in the finals.
You got it.
Who?
Patty. You know this.
Oh, those motherfuckers.
You knew. We knew a year ago.
At least they had a really hard road to the playoffs this year. I'm sure they finally did not have the best player on the team injured for every single series or anything like that, right?
Ooh. So about that. Yeah. The tough news, Patty, is that the Warriors have not lost yet in the playoffs.
So they're not
and by my count, I think they've only had one close game.
Yeesh. And that was, I think I read about this. That was the game where they were getting blown out until they injured the best player on the other team, and then they came back and won, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And then won the rest of the series without the best player playing, the other team's best player playing. You got it.
Boy, that must be eating them up inside. They just can't catch a break. They just don't get challenged at all, so no one really respects what they do. It's terrible.
It's a hard knock life over there for them.
Oh, man, those poor guys.
I know.
Well, then I guess this will be an NBA Finals preview then.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Before we get going, I think we should make a pledge since we kind of coasted through the playoffs like the Cavs and their 12-1 record. So what we're going to do after every finals game, we're going to go live within 30 minutes. That sound good to you, Matty?
That sounds great to me.
All right. So, anyone who's a regular listener, if we still have any left after we've just...
Yeah, we really shit all over our listeners, Patty.
Yeah, I apologize to all of our half-loyal listeners. But, yeah, we'll go live 30 minutes after the game, so when you're not able to go to bed because you're either angry or too hyped up, we'll go live 30 minutes. We'll tweet out follow me or Matty on Twitter. We'll tweet out the YouTube links so you can listen to us live as we go. So the rundown tonight is just going to be all Cavs, right, Matty?
Oh yeah, all Cavs. No time for anything else, Patty. It's go time.
All right, let's go time. Before we get to Cavs Warriors Part 3, should we let's do a little in memoriam, I guess, through the Eastern Conference? For the
yeah.
So let's do it in the way we know best, the way that we have.
Patty, are you going to say hate? Is hate going to be the prism through which we view the Eastern Conference playoffs?
It's the clearest filter. Pure.
Yes.
So pure. Let's do an Eastern Conference playoff kill list round by round. So Pacers, Matty, I was thinking about this before the podcast. I had to start looking up who was on the roster. I couldn't remember who pissed me off in that series. I swear someone pissed me off, but I don't remember anyone.
Yeah, that series was a bit of a long time ago now.
Is there anyone? I'm just looking at the roster. I can't think of anyone.
It's really interesting too because it was not obviously a blowout. I think it tied for the smallest collective margin of victory in a sweep ever. We won our total plus minus was 16 for the series. Yeah. So those type of close games usually engender hatred I want to murder in the playoffs when that happens. But
Lance Stevenson, right? Obviously.
I guess a little Lance, but I don't know. He's so far from what he was and he didn't really do anything so objectionable that I remember. Paul George, I don't hate. Teague, I've hated in the past, but I feel like he's so vanquished that he would have had to really step up and do something villainous for me to get mad at him. I'm never going to be mad at CJ Miles.
For Jeff Teague, poor guy. He's never won a single game against LeBron or the Cavaliers in 3 playoff appearances.
That's right.
It's roof stuff.
I wish I could say the same thing about his buddy Al Horford. We'll get to that in a little bit. I don't know. I mean, Miles Turner didn't make me mad.
No, I mean, he kind of vanished too. It was unfortunate for us.
Yep.
That's all.
I don't think anybody. Tyler Hansbrough is not on that team anymore. He's a sure thing.
I would have. I want to kill him anyway. Let's say Tyler Hansbrough.
Yeah, he might be it. Yeah, I don't think I came out of that series hating anybody.
No. All right. So from the Pacers series, we've all agreed that Tyler Hansbrough, alumni, is who we would kill the Pacers. So that's
some real hate for Tyler Hansbrough, I gotta say.
So much. I think the Raptors, had some more, right? But I don't know if anyone.
It's tough. That series was such a beatdown that it's hard to.
So Jonas Valanciunas got a little, high for his britches on like a few of his dump, but everyone ignored him because he was a dinosaur. Like he had good stats, and no one gave a shit.
That was just part of what we were doing.
Yeah. But a little bit, Maui, PJ, of course, but
I don't know. Ibaka was such a nothing.
Yeah.
I felt that I couldn't get worked up at. I don't hate DeMar DeRozan, and he's so quiet that he didn't get me going.
Exactly. And PJ Tucker just got owned the whole series. Famed LeBron stopper.
Yeah. It was such a beatdown. I can't. I have a hard time being mad at any of it. Lowry has the potential to get me mad just for being so good that I'd start to some anger at him that's not deserved, but that he got hurt and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
They no-showed that series.
That was bad. That was time. I tell their GM, you got to blow this shit up. we got to set our window for 3-4 years from now.
Right? They weren't clear. They looked terrible.
Yeah. Are we basically reserving our entire, if we have the top 5 Eastern Conference playoff kill list, can be filled entirely with Celtics?
I don't think that's going to be a problem, Patty. Because even in a series that was a beat down, I got a lot of hate for that team.
Oh, my God. So much. I hate that fucking team. Bunch of fucking tryhards.
A bunch of tryhards. I've never heard that before.
Oh, I think I picked that up on Twitter somewhere. I can't take that.
I like that.
It's good. It's a good.
Except they stopped trying hard. At least Game 5, they couldn't even muster that.
All right.
So who's at the top of your list for them?
Top of my list, I think it's always going to be Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk, is that how you pronounce it? I don't fucking care. Fuck him. Fucking mask face. Just looks like oh my God. I can't even form a sentence to just describe the rage I have about him. Fucking asshole, 30 player. And he tried again. He tried the first game. He tried to pull on Tristan's arm as he tried to pull away.
Yeah.
Cowardly motherfucker. BS face. He looks like a teenage girl in a growth spurt.
Yeah.
The awkward growing phase where her face outgrows mouth or teeth and just looks and then they just start looking like they're mentally disabled. It's just
awful. That's excellent. Yeah.
Oh, so
that's absolutely right. Yeah, you hate him more than Jerebko coming off that series?
Talk
about getting too big for your britches, man.
Oh my God. What the fuck are you going for looking like a white supremacist? You have the same fucking haircut as Richard Spencer.
Yeah. What
Like,
is he? He's
so if
finished.
you see in the street, you might think, "Oh my God, it's fucking Richard Spencer." You might think, "Oh, that's a Boston Celtic." No, that's an NBA player. No, that's a white supremacist. That's what I think looking at that motherfucker. God, I hate him.
I wanted to say he was Finnish, but I guess he's Swedish, huh?
They're all racist too. The Swedes, I mean, they have a lot of fucking Nazis up there, man. They do. It was like a minor plot line in one of the Girl the Dragon Tattoo books.
Oh, you're right.
So I think he's probably, is this another guy who's probably a Nazi? Who else did I think was a Nazi? Oh, yeah, that's right. Former Cavalier, Mike Dunleavy. We got two former Nazis in the NBA now that are just total racists. He came really close. He came top two. I never forget Olynyk for killing the Cavs' first chance. We could be out of three-peat right now. Kevin Love is still playing.
Jerebko, I mean, he was trying to talk shit to LeBron. Come on, buddy.
Like bumping into, playing dirty, and shoving Darren Williams. Like, just go on and start shit. It's like, fuck you. And fuck you, Brad Stevens, for fucking encouraging this and rewarding this. Fuck you. Like, play hard, fine. You fucking dicks on the fucking court. You're starting stuff just to start stuff. You need the goddamn thing.
It actually ended up being cleaner than I was worried about.
Incredibly. I mean, as you said, like, when we lost Game 3 with that crazy 3-pointer, like the fifth of 5 shots that like bounced in the rim 5 times before going in that night. My biggest concern was, great, we're getting another game to injure us.
Oh yeah,
it came close a couple times.
That was well founded. It was much less dirty than I was worried about, honestly. And part of that is that they were just getting their asses handed to them, and for a bunch of tryhards, they didn't try real hard. But all right, so those two. Who else? I still have some hate for Jay Crowder, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. Part of the reason Olynyk is tops for me is because he is what he did to Kevin Love. Like that he didn't do anything more in this series aside from just being fucking face. I hate his face. I'm sorry. More than anything. But Jay Crowder, yeah. Jay Crowder was just a...
I always feel like he and DeMar, and part of it is just they have the braids. He and DeMar Carroll. I love when they shoot 3-pointers. Both of them. Every time they take a 3, I'm like, great. More.
Keep going. Keep
hit a couple early so you keep shooting them.
Fall in love with it. Keep shooting it. Yeah. I mean, he just had a bunch of what drives me crazy about him is that he'll do like LeBron doesn't push off, with that lead arm, right? But you sort of don't blame him because he gets mauled left and right as he goes in there. But they would do it and then get furious that no foul was called on the other guy.
Yeah.
That would throw me. I was like, whoa! You literally just used your forearm and then extended your whole arm to create space. Finished, made the shot. Good for you. And then you want a foul.
Yeah.
The reaction of the Celtics to foul calls drove me crazy. But I'm being a total home run.
Especially after fucking Bill Simmons and just the weakest sauce ever of deciding that LeBron cries to the refs too much and advising everybody at the Celtics game to chant "You're a baby" at LeBron whenever he touched the ball, as if that was going to do something. That Celtics team whines a lot.
Oh my God!
And they don't have any superstars who can really take it on, but each and every person on that team, when they're on the floor, whines a lot.
For a team that never did a goddamn thing,
I know.
Rich for you to be whining that much. Like, it's one of those things that you earn with time. It's bullshit, I move to keep doing, but like you sort of get it. Like you're used to being the king, you complain a little more.
Yeah.
Obviously the Clippers take it to the nth degree, but I didn't really notice them at all this year. But the past they've been pretty bad.
Patty, who made it on? I think made it onto my list is Al Horford. We mentioned him earlier.
100%. He's easily in my top 5.
Patty, what do you think he made this year, money wise?
I believe it's max money, right?
Just give me a dollar figure in millions. How many millions did he make this year?
Make this year?
Yeah, this is just his yearly salary.
20?
2016-17.
Is it 20 million?
Close. 26.5.
20 what? 0.65? Jeez.
$26.54 million.
$26 million. That fucking Mark earned $26 million to get
That
old.
dude is a waste of space. He is not the second best player. You know, I was reading ESPN has like they do it every round. Who's the MVP right now? The playoffs.
Yep.
And LeBron was one, of course.
Yep.
And he went through a bunch of Warriors and whoever, the usual suspects that you'd expect. Fucking Al Horford was 10. I was like, do they just feel like they need to throw a Celtic on here? I think Thomas didn't make it because he was hurt. He is a big nothing, man. I know they'll quote some advanced stats about what he does for nothing. Nothing he does scares me. He's not going to hit a big shot.
I will say
He's
that
get abused on defense. He's a terrible rebounder.
Yep. Well, that's the bottom line. You're a fucking center or power forward, whatever. You're a big man.
He's their center.
You fucking rebound. What the fuck are you doing out there? Unless you're a role player.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's not like he's a shot blocker that's pulling him away from the rim and he's not able to recover and get. He's not doing that either.
26
He should be in good defensive rebounding positioning constantly.
that $26 million for a guy who is a big man. If you can't defend the rim or get rebounds, what the fuck is anyone playing $26 million for? You're a role player.
Yeah.
You're like a glorified Channing Frye. Like the Channing Frye can hit fucking threes.
Yeah.
Channing Frye, what?
No. I was just gonna say I think Horford. He's not the second best player on a championship team.
No.
I don't know that he's the third best player on a championship team.
He's a role player. He's a guy that can fill a good role on a team not making $26 million. This is an albatross for the Celtics, I think. I mean,
he made $20 million more this year than Isaiah Thomas.
Although the fighting everyone's talking about, the Celtics are going to be so good. I mean, oh my God, look how good they were. They got an MVP candidate. I can't say that.
Quote unquote.
And now I got the number one pick in the draft. Oh my God! It's like, I'm sorry, I don't see it. That team is flawed as shit. They have they've got a lot of good role players. I'll give you that, including Al Horford. But they're paying Al Horford not like a role player, and that is money they get rid of. So maybe they can trade him and find a way to clear space or something else. But I don't know.
I'd like to see them sign a name free. I mean, that's the first free agent Boston has signed.
Yeah.
Meaningful. It's not like a ring chaser or something. Free agents don't sign there. I think because it's a terribly racist town. I don't know. I've heard of that recently. That hadn't occurred to me previously.
I mean, they also sign racists.
Right. So I guess Gordon Hayward, it should be their target. But I'm with you. I'm not ready to.
I don't see it.
Hand them anything just yet.
Yeah, if they draft Markelle Fultz and add Gordon Hayward, maybe.
It's a better team. I'm not scared of them.
No, if they trade their one pick and get, say, like Jimmy buckets, and then they get what's his name? Can they do that? I don't know if they have the cap space for all that. To get
no, I think they could do it because in order to trade for Butler or George, they'd have to match salaries, so they'd dump.
You wouldn't want George and well, I guess you could use George and Hayward. You can make sense of it. Guys. But I'd rather have Butler and
no, they dump like Crowder and Smart and whatever. Tyler Zeller's making $8 million a year, not to play.
Jeez, that's true. Is Smart still on your killer now? You not care about him?
Is Smart still what?
Is Smart still on your kill list?
Yeah, we should finish that off before we move on. So I think my five for them are Olynyk, Jerebko, Crowder, Horford, and Smart, with Avery Bradley peeking around the corner.
Yeah, I have a hard time hating Avery Bradley because he's a good player. I hate how much he fouls and gets away with this, but he's also playing good fundamental defense while fouling.
No, that's what he's on the outside looking in for sure.
But for sure,
nobody else on the team, right? I'm not mad at Terry Rozier with the shaker. I'm not mad at him.
Well, of course not. He's got a pass, right?
Yeah.
We'll never kill Terry Rozier.
Tyler Zeller is so harmless and a former Cab. I'm not mad at him. Who else got minutes? Gerald Green. for God's sake. Jaylen Brown's too young. Yeah, it's those 5.
For sure. You can kill about the order. Who cares? Shit. This the Celtics. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Not worth our time.
Agreed.
Should we move on to the finals, Matty?
I think so, man. It's go time.
Let me set you up, Matty. So I want to start by looking back at a comparison of where we were this time last year, coming into the finals, versus this year. What I remember you telling me, I don't know if it was in their podcast or just over the phone, was that this matchup represented the highest risk and maximum reward. We really wanted a different team. We really wanted Oklahoma City. Because we didn't, as you and I have said, we never cared how we got our first championship. I would have been happy. I would have been thrilled if we had gotten a totally bullshit fake title where the best players in the team were injured, or huge role players injured the team, and we had an easy 4-1, 4-2 victory. And I would have been thrilled and I would have been so happy, right?
Of course.
Right. Sort of like how the Golden State got their championship.
Yes. Very similar.
But I would have been super happy with that. And I would never complain that I would have nodded to, the complaints about it. I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have cared. It was all I needed. But instead, we got faced with the most terrifying outcome, right, where loss is the most gutting thing you could possibly have. It just makes you hurt more and everything else. But it was the highest reward.
Yes.
You're different, Matty, right? So expound upon this. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, one, I mean, we said this after we won last year. That one championship is it for me. Like, I don't know that I need anything else. The stakes are way lower for me now.
Yep.
Way lower. And because Golden State had to go out and add Durant, the comparisons to last year don't even really hold up for me now. So even if the Cavs lose, I'm like, whatever. Golden State had to go and basically bend the rules of cap and roster construction, space and time in order to put a team together that could beat the Cavs. Yeah. And I can sleep at night with that. So in some ways, I feel as a fan, no pressure compared to what we felt last year.
I believe it was said somewhere the Cavs are basically playing with house money right now.
Yeah.
Cavs fan, like it's lowest risk, maximum reward.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There's no risk, and if we pull it off, we fucking pull it off.
Holy shit!
Amazing! It's so amazing. It'll be crazy. Like nothing will ever match that. Nothing will ever match that. But holy shit, would it be so fucking close? Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think you and I feel this way. We got what we needed last year. It's something that we both thought was never going to happen.
God damn right. Matty, I don't know about you. I'm putting my feet up. Metaphorically. I'm doing it literally. Just to express how I feel about this.
Right?
Now, that aside, let's be realistic Cleveland sport fans. Because, immediately after the Cavs championship, the Tribe had a thrilling but heartbreaking, in typical Cleveland fashion, loss in the championship round.
Yes.
What are the worst possible outcomes in this series, and how bad would each of those outcomes be?
So a sweep that's never close in any of the games would be tough to stomach.
Yeah, I agree.
That would suck.
Yeah.
I don't think that's impossible either, by the way.
It will be followed by a lot of rewatching of games 5, 6, and 7 from last year.
Yeah, that's right. I have the antidote ready. At the moment. Yeah. That's another reason I feel confident. Whatever happens, I've got the antidote ready to go. So
yeah, exactly.
I can proceed without caution.
Now, do you think that's the worst possible outcome? Because I think there's a worse possible outcome.
God, then getting blown out 4 straight times. What's worse than that to you?
Matty, us going 3-1 and losing.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, or us going up 3-0 and lose. Yeah, for sure. I'm sorry.
Losing, either way, that'd be the worst.
Yes.
3-1. And 3-0 obviously would be even worse. 3-0 and losing would be worse because they set a different record. That would be the worst.
Yes, you're absolutely in that order. Up 3-0 and losing, up 3-1 and losing, and then I think a blowout sweep.
Yeah.
No.
I don't. If we go 2-2 and lose somehow, that to me is the ideal loss, or not the ideal loss, sort of a game 7, whatever. I mean, even game 7 would be crushing, but at least we get the.
God, if we won the first 2 in Golden State and then lost, that would be tough. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like thinking about any of that. I'd have to not read about basketball for 6 months.
But that's my point. This is not, even though we're playing with house money, even though we got our chip, we don't have to worry about this. Here's the thing: I don't know what to think about this cat. I don't know what to know. I don't know what to do with these Cavs. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't.
No. I totally agree with you. Anything's possible.
And
they could come in and lay an egg. They could have another gear that we haven't seen before somehow that allows them to come in and really hang in this series.
But the worst outcome that I have trouble stomaching, the easiest outcome that I have trouble stomaching, I feel like is this week. The hardest one would be anything where we have a huge lead and we blow it.
So in some ways, the most nervous you could get is us being up 3-0.
Yeah, pretty much.
That would be the most difficult moment for you personally.
3-0 is even worse because there's 3-0 and there's 3-1.
Yes,
they're both.
That is true.
Didn't you feel a little weird when the Indians went 3-1?
Yes. Oh, for sure. For sure.
I mean, I'm very quick to laugh at Golden State fans for thinking this changed anything. It's like, 1, your team in your city isn't playing, and 2, this is not the Cavs, and 3, also the tribe of fucking luck to get 3-1.
And baseball's different than basketball like that too. It's
we need all 4, 3 of these games to get 1. And, because we didn't have we needed to the next time we had Kluber. We couldn't pull that one off. So
Oh God,
but,
I don't like thinking about that.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to give you an ulcer after being all sanguine about this, but I want you I think it helps to think about it in advance.
That's true, and have a plan for it. And I think we do. We have a plan. We know what happens when the earthquake hits. We've got a preparedness kit, and we just go right to it.
5, 6, and 7.
We drink and watch those games.
Find new copies. My DirecTV erased it.
Did it?
Yeah, so I got to figure out how to get that. I'm sure you can get a bootleg somewhere.
Yes.
We'll report back. Hopefully after game 1. I'll have it ready in case there's a bad loss.
Yeah.
All right. I want to get a couple of quotes that jumped out to me. I don't know if you had any quotes that jumped out to you in the so far the interim. It's almost like the Super Bowl week, right? The whole week off before the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, a little minor version of that.
Yeah, I'll start with the one that jumped out to me was Joe LaCobe.
Joe LaCobe, that's what you're going with?
Fuck, what's his name? Lacob?
Lacob like Jacob.
What kind of fucking name is that?
I don't know.
It's a dumbass name. That's what it is. That's what I'm going with, Matty.
You do you, buddy. I'm down with you calling LaCobe. Crazy.
What I love about this is that I don't even mean to do it, but I do it and I disrespect the person I'm talking about. But I don't even know or care about him enough to actually know how to pronounce his name. And once I know how to pronounce it, I'm like, it's LaCobe.
Yeah.
No, it's Maratic.
It's a little like I can't remember whose joke that is. I think it's Louis C.K.'s joke about how he did Native Americans. We called them Indians because we thought we were in India, and then they were like, "No, you're in a whole different place." And I'm like, I'm gonna keep calling them Indians.
I don't know.
I don't care.
I'll give a nod to our conservative listeners, Brendan and kind of Brent. I also go back to George H.W. Bush. He knew how to pronounce Saddam Hussein's name, and he called him Saddam Hussein every single time. That's good gamesmanship, I thought. Yeah.
Good quality trolling. All right, what's the Joe LaCobe quote?
This is I think it's after we lost Game 3 to Boston, and the press was trying to make it seem like trying desperately to create some drama on the NBA playoffs this year, and make it seem like who would you rather face in the finals? And Joe LaCobe says, I don't care who we play. My preference is Cleveland. We have some unfinished business. We were the better team. We need a chance to go in there and prove that.
Huh. I mean, the only thing that bothers me about that is that we were the better team, obviously.
I mean, one, you weren't. Why didn't you win? Two,
right, you had a chance to prove it.
Two, Joe, you ain't got no fucking unfinished business. That business is done, finished. It's done. It's over with. You can't prove that you were the better team by adding the second best player in the NBA, adding it to your 73-win team that got worked by the Cavs.
Yeah, too late.
All you're doing is making it clear that that argument is over. You signed KD, made it finished business. You might have a revenge thing going. Fine, get your revenge. That's different. You get your revenge. But your revenge is by adding the second best player in basketball.
This is a solid point, Patty.
This is the dumbest shit I can just this fucking guy. He thinks he's gonna prove a point with this?
That's a very solid point.
You lost. And more than that, you already proven that we should have won in 2015, that we were the better team in 2015. Because we were missing Kyrie and Kevin Love. Game set, man.
I can't argue with anything you just said.
Of course not. It's very rude.
I will say I don't have any issue with being like, yeah, we want to play the Cavs. That's what everybody wanted. It's clearly the best teams. They played after we beat the Celtics. They played that quote from Draymond before the season.
Exactly.
Where he was like, "I want the Cavs and I want to annihilate them." Even I don't mind that.
I don't mind that at all. I don't want to too. I wanted to annihilate the Warriors last year.
Yeah,
but I was terrified and filled with dread.
Yes. Yeah. No, I have no issue with that kind of talk. That's fine. But okay, that was a very good call, Patty.
It drove me crazy because I was like, totally, of course you want us. Of course you want revenge. You have unfinished business? No. That means it's totally different series. It's a totally different game. These are totally different teams.
You closed the door on that business, sir.
You closed the door on that business and you started playing a different brand of basketball. You guys got so beat with the one-on-one matchups that when we switched everything and forced you guys, you guys to go one-on-one, you only had Steph. This Steph was exhausted from being run through our picks. We fucking outthought you. We outplayed you. We played you is what we just did. And so you guys went out and got one of the best one-on-one isolation players, so you could actually play isolation ball with us. Because they do much more than they used to. Obviously, they still have their pass, they still have their stuff. But they built this team because they couldn't beat us, because they're admitting they couldn't beat us. I mean, yes, they were already pursuing Kevin Durant, and that would make sense to do it any logical sense in the world. But that made it an imperative. And it's clearly a selling point they gave him. And the reason he came was he felt like, oh, these guys can't beat LeBron. They need me. Like that was in the sales pitch.
Yeah.
So you're the better team, you chance to go up there and prove that. You lost that chance. Chance gone. Let Kevin walk, and then you can have your chance again. Like they let him go somehow next year, came back next year to play us in the final. Sure, that would be proving your chance. Proving you're the better team. You beat us then, I would agree, but I'd say you have an argument. Right now, you have no argument. You lost. We were a better team than you. We were a better team than you were last year. Done.
Agreed.
So another quote, Steph Curry apparently is against fun. He says, I think when you look at the whole squad, the Cavs, they have a good kind of chemistry and vibe. It looks like they're having fun. We want to do something about that.
Oh, he's so tough.
Oh, he's a tough guy with all those pubes taped to his face.
So tough.
Have you seen his fucking beard? Why is he growing that out, man? Who is he fucking fooling?
It's pretty weak. It's a little Skylar-esque. Skylar, I love you, buddy, but your beard's
I mean, do you
strong.
You remember the South Park episode, right?
Of course.
Petterman's Chili.
Yeah, of course.
Where he tries to sell pubes and they tape it to their face so they can have beard. Like that's what his fucking beard looks like.
Yeah,
awful.
It looks terrible.
Oh, jeez. It's just
he is so beloved out here, Patty. It is really fun to hate on him.
He's a great shooter. He's got.
It feels like you're going after somebody's national treasure somehow. Like it feels really. I was gonna say sacrilegious, and that's not quite what I mean, but it's like that level
Bay Area
of inappropriate to attack him out here. It's just a real joy for me.
Bay Area. Fuck your God.
Right.
Look at his face.
It is a real joy.
who grew up as a rich kid for an NBA player and plays the I had a tough card. Fuck you. You're 6'3" and you hit ridiculous shots. You went to a small school.
Yeah.
That's really tough. Tough for you. Tough for
You
you.
overcame that heroin addiction. That's something.
I actually, what?
Nah, I mean, he just looks like Bubs a little from The Wire.
I watched you for a second. I was like, wait, what? Heroin addiction? Is that why when Davidson?
He's got dark circles around his eyes. His skin's a little yellow.
Oh, my God.
His teeth are sort of messed up.
Oh, my God. Well, okay, so here's the other funny thing. Like, these guys are super fresh. Like, no one's remotely hurt. KD, I guess, coming off injury, but he's had a whole playoff run to rehab and rest between rounds. He's like, there's nothing. He's 100%, right?
Yes.
Do you think
there's no injuries on that team whatsoever to speak of?
Do you think anyone's gonna come back and say, can we declare a no injury bullshit rule with KD?
I mean, barring anything else happening. Yes. Yeah. I'm not listening to that. I mean, I still don't grant that Steph Curry was hurt last year. Where was the surgery in the offseason?
I'm upset with some.
It didn't happen.
I'm upset with some of NBA Twitter for even giving it any credence.
Yeah. No. He wasn't hurt. Wait, you want to tell me he was tired? Fine. I guess I'll listen to that. He was tired. He wasn't in good enough physical condition to make it all the way through the finals. That's fine. If you want to argue that. He was not hurt. He was not hurt.
This is stats. No one got ran through more screens in any playoff series than Steph Curry in the finals last year. We ran him through multiple screens. Like, we'd have a screen and have it done, and we'd run on the screen just to run him through it. We did it to tire the fuck out of him because he was the only guy who could beat us one-on-one if we switched everything.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And he started playing his own ball, and it disrupted their passing a bit. This is what's going to be interesting about watching this finals is that, like, the way we play Christmas Day is more like how we're going to play this. We switched a lot. Whereas we played in Golden State, I was upset that we got blown out, but, like, we didn't play that way. We stopped switching. We tried to play vanilla defense. We got blown out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we clearly as much as I don't like the flip switching and whatever, all that, it's clear. I think we were not showing our hand during the regular season almost ever.
No.
Right? I sort of do buy that now. And that I'm starting to buy a little, and this is dangerous, that Ty Lue's got something up his sleeve all the time.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, did you read Jason Lloyd today?
No, I haven't yet.
And again, guys, if you haven't gotten The Athletic, it's not that much. It's worth it just to read Jason Lloyd alone. But they got some other good writers there. They aren't paying me, though I should probably talk to them about it after I get them, 5 subscribers. To get my cut. No, it's really worth doing just because it's better than PD, but plain dealer. It's if you like to still just kind of go to a site to read about Cavs stuff and Brown stuff and Tribe stuff, go then. But yeah, he wrote about how the play against the Pistons in Game 3 last year, when we had an out of bounds play. It was a tight game. We had 1.5 seconds, maybe 1 second on the shot clock.
On that Irving 3.
Yeah, Irving got the free for that 3. Yeah. Apparently, Lloyd got in with Ty Lue. I talked to him. Got Ty Lue to agree to record. He got to tape Ty Lue drawing out the play. He explained that basically he noticed a couple times that Stan Van Gundy had changed how they defended their inbounds plays to hedge between LeBron and Love, who they were running these picks for to get these easy layups at the basket, right? For the quick plays. And so he just on the fly, like before that game, he drew up a play where it was the opposite, where they would anticipate that and then send Love in a different direction around to pick Kyrie's guy to run off the corner and get that 3. And it was just like, you get to watch, you see him draw, you see him play. It's great. And he just talks about how, like, he literally has stolen from every coach he admires, every play he admires. He just watches the tape, writes down what the play was, and like gives it to the Cavs staff to like put in the computers. And he just compiles them. He compiles them and he tries, like, how do I tweak this with my guys? Like, how would apparently he has like about 3,000 plays. I can't remember all of them, but somewhere around 2,000 to 3,000 plays that he's for the past 2 years. And also from like his time with Doc and stuff like that. But he's a man of that many.
Sure.
Out of timeouts. It's like I feel like he doesn't. He's so. I mean, if anything, he overthinks stuff. But so far, I haven't seen it burn us, except when he's a little bit cavalier. Pardon the pun. About trying new lines for the first time out there. But like, we've had a week to prepare. I feel like he's going to be having practice that stuff out, and he'll adjust. He made adjustments last year, and
it'll be interesting to see because he doesn't get. He gets almost no credit, right?
None whatsoever, which is crazy.
And he doesn't help himself when he says Blatt-like things like coaching the Cavs is the hardest coaching job in sports, which I think he said, not just in the NBA, but in sports, which is, you just can't say that. But I hear an awful lot about Brad Stevens and all the out-of-timeout plays that he's got.
Yeah.
Never hear that about Ty Lue.
Surprised who had more efficient out-of-timeout plays.
Yeah.
Ty Lue.
Yeah.
Brad Stevens, I think, had more points out of timeouts, but the actual efficiency of points per possession out of timeouts, it was Ty Lue, which is actually the metric that matters. I mean, look, he rarely has those moments where he's talking like our favorite Dick, favorite Federer, David Blatt.
No, he doesn't talk like it. That one was a close one, and even then, he meant it in a different way.
Exactly. I feel like that was taken out of context because he's more often self-deprecating than anything.
He is.
I love about him. But yeah, he gets no credit. He never will as long as he's got LeBron playing for him.
But it's even different. I feel like it was different in Miami. I feel like Spoelstra got a lot of credit.
It's true.
For making the big three work together, and he did all that. I'm saying it's because Ty Lue's black, Patty. I guess that's where I'm going with this.
There's something to that. I mean, Doc Rivers got a lot of credit, though, so to give counterbalance to that.
Did he?
I think it has to do with the fact that
I think all Doc Rivers' credit was about Ubuntu, and that was the whole, even that's sort of backhanded.
Yes, it is. But I
would made those guys get along, and he could speak a language that, I don't know. There's some.
I guess a little bit of combo. I'd say it's a bit of that. I think it's a bit of the fact that he's Cleveland. It's a Cleveland team, and no one gets credit out in Cleveland, man. Like Kyrie had the best fucking game I've seen since Kyrie's best fucking game I've seen since game 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And there were pieces out the next day about how that actually showed that Kyrie's not good. The people are still fucking hating on Kyrie. I mean, look, more than national media that matters is coming around on him. But it's fucking awesome, man. The national media just still doesn't get it.
Yeah, I'll continue to take the guy that shows up for big moments.
Yeah, 100%. I think it matters
every time.
Regular season, bar none. So here's the question I have, Matty. Just think about how the Cavs are going to do this. I still don't know what they're going to do. There's so many possibilities that make sense to me. I don't know what they're going to do, so I'm excited to see what they end up doing. Who guards Kevin Durant and who guards Draymond Green?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you think they should do and what do you think is going to happen? I
don't know. I guess you sort of have to base – I mean, I start thinking about it as who you're going to hide Love on.
Right. I assume Pachulia, right?
I assume Pachulia too, and I don't think they'll throw Pachulia I don't think they'll throw him into a ton of pick and rolls, which means you can really pretty safely hide him on it. And then at that point, I don't know how much it matters, right? Like I don't love Kyrie on KD at that point, but any of from our starting lineup, any of JR, LeBron, and TT, I'm fine with.
Yep.
I'm more or less fine with any of those guys switching on to Draymond.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. I mean, if I was Golden State, I'd do everything I could to get Kyrie into pick and rolls and base my offense around that, right?
Then that's the point. If that happens, do you let them go one-on-one, or do you run out defense to them?
God. Then this is where they get so scary.
Because what was interesting to me, if you remember from the Christmas Day game, we put RJ fucking on KD for most of the
including at the end of the game.
Yeah, we let KD roast him the whole game.
Yeah.
And I worked about it was that KD's going to go through cold spells. And you know what's happening in the meantime? No one else is hot. No one else is warm. There's no movement in the basketball. They're not playing their Golden State basketball.
Right.
I think that they're afraid to take advantage of mismatches because it means isolation basketball.
That's interesting. So you think they're going to try to goad him into that?
That's what I think they're going to try and do. I think there's a school of thought that says put LeBron on KD and Tristan on Draymond and bait Draymond going one-on-one, or try don't let KD get a good matchup on anyone one-on-one. Don't get Steph get a good matchup on anyone one-on-one. Like fight those and do the aggressive shows and hedges and all that stuff. When Draymond's on a switch, let him switch into anybody. Let's switch to anyone. Kevin Love, sure, go one-on-one. I've heard that theory. I just don't think that Draymond's going to fall for it. I think they'll just pass out of it until they get something else. But still, it still throws them a little bit. They're giving up this a mismatch.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, because the KD ISO study, there's been a bunch of articles about that, right? About how that was happening basically through just after the Christmas Day game, and that they sort of figured that out, and that was a big part of the second half of the year for them was KD figuring out how he works in the flow of the normal offense. But I don't know. Could they be suckered back into it?
I don't know. I think that would be. I think when things get tired and tough, if we can hang in there early in the game, and so because there's a certain point where things get tiring, right? When things get tough and you don't know what to do, people fall into bad habits. Golden State hasn't been tested very much. The only time they were tested was against the Spurs one game, and they came out of it because the best defensive player out there got injured. So, and the best offensive player.
Yeah.
So, there's something to be said. It's something to watch for. I think in games, I can't see that Golden State falling for early. But because even baiting KD into it, I can't see Draymond getting baited into it. But
Draymond seems smarter than that. And somehow more aware of him. For somebody that loses total fucking control of himself all the time,
totally.
He's more aware of that.
Exactly. But
that's going to be fascinating.
So I mean, the obvious thing would say LeBron should guard KD and TT should guard Draymond, but I actually think that's the opposite. I think LeBron should guard Draymond and let TT guard Kevin Durant. That's their primary assignment, just because the height matchup a little better. I don't think that KD just can keep up with KD, but make a hard one. And if KD goes against a matchup they can exploit, that's great. But I don't think he's going to do that.
Yeah, I sort of like that, Patty.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of like seeing him. I know he's going to roast Kevin Love too, but let's see it. I want to bait them into it and see what happens. That's sort of my first hope that happens, but we'll see. I don't know. But to me, the big key is to keep Draymond out of his nexus from passing mode. Face guard Steph and Clay, but more importantly, got to make them work on D. Those are some of the most important things to do.
Do you see Barkley talking after we beat this? Barkley picked us to win.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did
he pick us to win last year?
I think so.
I
think he's picked us to win every year.
Every year, yeah. Okay, wait, hold on. Who did what's his name pick?
Stephen A.
Yeah, Stephen A.
I haven't seen yet. I'll see if I can look it up real quick while we're talking.
I think if the Cavs earlier in the year, that's already kind of bad because if for listeners that don't know, Stephen A. has picked the wrong.
He picked the Warriors.
Picked the Warriors. Oh, good, excellent. He's picked the wrong finals winner every single year since 2011.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
Barkley. So he picked us, and he said, how did he die? He said he was sort of. This is specious Barkley reasoning for sure, but he sort of said Durant and LeBron are a wash, Irving and Curry are a wash, and then so the real matchup is how TT and Love do against Draymond and Pachulia McGee.
Huh.
And the rest of the panel was sort of incredulous and was like, "What the? You didn't even talk about Klay Thompson. What's going on with that?" And he's like, "Klay's been a ghost this whole postseason. I think he's out. He's like, I think he's the best 2 guard in the league, but they just don't have shots for him.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to do anything, which is interesting.
It's very interesting. He's one of those scary guys like Korver or whatever. He's come out of nowhere and start just draining shit left and right, and he's able to make his shot a little more. They've got better moving screens. They got better illegal screens than we have. So
yeah. Speaking of illegal screens, are you worried about Pachulia?
I'm terrified. I think he's dirty. I think
dirty.
Yeah, I think it's dirty. I think he does it on purpose. And I think he's going to totally try and injure guys left and right. That's what he's there for. We got him for. Bogut did the exact same thing. Bogut was a fucking dirty ass player. They had to get another dirty player. They got one.
Yeah. So, Patty, this wasn't in your rundown, and I forgot to add it. But I think it's worth 2 minutes of our time, and this is as good a place as any. How fucking weird is it that Mike Brown is their coach?
Oh my God! How did I do that out? Is it confirmed yet? Is he the coach? It was still an open question whether Steve Kerr was going to come back.
I mean, I think Kerr is not back. The last I saw is that they don't think Kerr will be back at least for game 1.
Okay, but he might be back at some point in the series.
Could be back at some point in the series, but I think he's pretty messed up.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's got to give you some more confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like you got Mike Brown running the show. Is Steve Kerr not involved at all? I gotta imagine he's involved.
No, he's involved. But he's not down on the court. He's not making decisions about who
in game,
what lineup
plays and all that shit.
Yep.
But that team is running real good. Right?
That's all Mike Brown, which has to make us feel a little okay, right?
A little okay, because Mike Brown's not a bad coach. I'll stand up for Mike Brown. I mean, I know shit went bad.
This is mostly me falling victim to Haralabos Voulgaris, who just takes a shit on him all the time on Twitter. And said that he thought that Mike Brown being there instead of Steve Kerr could be a difference maker in the finals. A while ago, like two series ago.
I think that undersells Mike Brown a little bit, but Mike Brown is not we know what Mike Brown is. He's not Steve Kerr. He's not Lou. I don't think he's a bad coach though. I think he's managed the team through some the Cavs team through some pretty decent situations before. But we had 2 choke jobs with all-time teams, so those were much more limited teams in terms of what else they could run, and it was much easier to game plan against us. But I don't know. This Cavs team is also much harder to game plan against. That's something to watch for. That's definitely something to watch for.
It's weird. Just a weird little twist. In the same way as like them signing Andy last year.
I was gonna say, do you think he's our
he's our Trojan horse?
The Trojan horse. Does he still have family in Cleveland? I mean,
I think they moved out. I mean, I think he's still getting paid by us.
Yeah. So I mean, it's something about
possible.
It's possible. So I had one random question here. So our rotation is going to be interesting to look at. I think we're all assuming RJ is going to have a lot of time in this series, and part of the reason for I fell out of the rotation against Boston was we were trying to get RJ back into game shape. But RJ was terrible.
He was awful.
Awful. Just like he looked like an old man playing rec league. He was just.
Our bench scares me a little, honestly. Scared me a little bit in that series.
I mean, like Darren Williams came around the last game, and if he can play that aggressively and smart, that's a huge boon. Korver looked crazy slow, and apparently I was looking at some stats the other day that like he was the slowest player in terms of like the actually track like player moving across the court.
I saw that because in the one with LeBron, whatever, that game 3, if LeBron was sick or whatever, he was super slow in that game.
Exactly,
and that's who they compared. They were like, he's still faster than Kyle Korver.
Korver's not a super slow guy. Like Korver's a decent pace guy, but like he looked like he was a step behind everything in game 4. Even though he hit a few threes finally, which is nice. Yeah, we didn't worry about that. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully that was just something weird, and he'll be back into it. But without 4 threes, there's not much else on the bench that's worth playing. It's like Shump, who, if he's not hitting threes, is
Shump's valuable for us in this. Extremely valuable for us in this series.
Defensive play. You never know which defensive shot is going to show up, or which shooting shot is going to show up. It's a huge wild card.
For sure.
And then, and RJ has been playing well. Fry played in that Christmas Day game a lot.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see if he gets minutes.
Exactly. And then there's the guy that we signed. A lot of people think with an eye towards Golden State, D-Will too.
Yeah. That was on my list. I'm very curious to see if he gets minutes.
I am too. And so my question to you, man, is who gets more minutes? Fry, RJ, or D-Will too?
I think Fry gets the least minutes out of those guys.
I think so too.
I think it might be Derek Williams.
Yeah, I think it's D-Will too. I agree. Just because of how bad RJ was playing in this last series, it should be RJ. But and I wonder if RJ gets the first crack, and if he starts falling behind and not playing well, it's not up to it. They throw D-Will out there, and D-Will in round two, which is a guy who doesn't shoot threes as well as RJ historically, but is much more athletic, much more defensive, younger, on defense, and he can hit threes. So we'll see. And he can make off-ball cuts. They had the same game, honestly, RJ and D-Will, except that RJ hits more threes.
And Williams is younger and more athletic.
Yeah. That's. RJ's still athletic to drag his nuts on Katie's head, but
that'll be
I can't remember. Which guy it was.
Who shows up out of that bench unit will be a big story for the series for us. Do we get anything out of Korver?
Yeah.
That question that you just asked, RJ, Derek Williams, are any of them able to give us anything? How much does Darren Williams have in the tank?
Yeah.
That's big. And which Amon shows up. In some ways that's not the difference maker, but we're going to need something there.
It's a huge X factor because while their bench is not as deep as it was last year, Sean Livingston doesn't get as much play. A little bit. We'll see if he gets more play this time around. But apparently, the rookie McCaw gets more playing time. They have McGee off the bench, who is sort of a weird X factor of their Golden State.
Ian Clark's played a decent amount.
Ian Clark, yeah, that's right.
Matt Barnes. Get ready to add him to your kill list, Patty.
Oh, Matt Barnes. Oh, at least unless we forget that David West, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's apparently trying to copy Kevin Love now. I was reading some articles that he apparently has added to his game the full court pass.
Whoa.
So we'll have to see how that works out.
I'm shaking over here.
Yeah, exactly. So, they don't need a deep bench because they have, Iguodala still. Although Iguodala's been terrible. Low shoot, 11% from three. There's rumors that he's hurt. He's got a lot of time to rest up, so maybe he's back up and ready to go. He was a huge X factor last year, and for their depth lineup, they want Iguodala out there with them.
Yeah, it's still Iguodala with them.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how that works. We'll see. But all right, Maddie, you go first. Why don't you give me your what are your big three key things to look for? Or we win if this happens. We lose if this happens.
So I think we need. I don't know that any of these are going to be earth shattering, but one for me, I need Kevin Love to show up in a big way.
Yeah.
Not necessarily as good as he was in that Boston series, but way better than he was in the finals last year. That means he needs to be hitting threes. That means he needs to be the aggressive, getting the ball, playing hard motherfucker in the paint that I saw him be in that Boston series. Doing dirty work, finishing around the rim, getting fouled. I need to see that from him. And if he reverts to what we did last year, to who he was last year, I have a hard time seeing us win. I worry less about him on defense than the national media does. I think he knows what he's doing and can work within our stuff. I really need to see him crushing the defensive boards and showing up on the offensive end and being a difference maker.
Yeah.
That's huge for me. There's some amalgam of what we just talked about, of like our bench being people showing up, unexpected heroes.
Yep.
That we're gonna have to see, and if we get nothing out of that bench, and like there's a very real chance to me that like we roll out that LeBron and TT plus the bench, or LeBron and Love plus the bench, or LeBron and the bench, whatever it is in the second and fourth quarters, and they just get run the fuck off the court.
Yeah.
That would just be disastrous. Like those guys go in and the Warriors go on a 10-0 run. That's possible. And that's death for us. Yeah. And if instead they're holding their own and really showing something, that's a big difference maker. And then finally, this might step on your toes a little bit, but again, it's not earth-shattering. Like LeBron's got to have an amazing series.
Yeah.
An all-time series. And I think probably Kyrie needs to, I don't know, have 4 incredible games.
Yeah.
And be the player that we saw him be the last couple games against the Celtics. And if they're not, we're done.
Yeah.
So again, that's not none of that's earth-shattering, but
but like as you said,
have to see.
It's a prerequisite. Like if LeBron isn't amazing, if LeBron isn't magnificent, then we have no chance. No matter what else happens in the rest of the series, no matter any of the other questions are all moot. If LeBron isn't fantastic and magnificent, then we can't win. And I think the same with Kyrie. It's lesser so than LeBron, but like Kyrie has to be magnificent. He has to have another trick.
Yep.
He has another show. He has to show us something else. Showing that he can do what he did in some of those games on a regular basis throughout the finals. Has to do that. The guy that is more important than even Kevin Love is TT. He is the cog to making our defense work, to making them work, and to punishing them on the offensive glass and defensive glass. Kevin Love too, like they work in tandem. But TT is the guy that like he's just on like from a defensive and rebounding standpoint. Kevin Love is our offensive like rebounder, if that makes sense. Okay, TT is the guy that I think really needs to like be. We need to notice him every game. Like he can't disappear or be invisible. I think that's super crucial. It's not really a point, but like I think you'll see it on the offensive boards. Like we need to get. This is one point I think Justin Rowan, the Cavs, the guy pointed out, is that the Cavs need to have more possessions.
Yes, and that means turning the ball over less and beating them on the boards.
Turning the ball over less and winning the board battle on defense and offense. We need to really crush that. That's super crucial.
I agree with that. So here, can I ask a quick question on that? Not to take you out of your thing here, but it feels to me like winning the turnover battle and crushing on the boards means we're going to play at a slower pace. Maybe. So I guess that's the question: is can we play at the pace that it seems like it's for some crazy reason it seems like we want to play even against this Warriors team that. I've heard that suggestion out there, and I don't know that I disagree with it, that we're better if we're out and pushing. That's the open question for me, I guess, is can we do that and take care of the ball and still crush on the boards?
I mean, it's a good question. We had some really careless turnovers. I don't think we could carry the ball that well over the first 3 rounds. That's partially because we didn't respect anybody. But it's a good question. I mean, knowing Ty Lue and what his philosophy is about our team, I think we're going to have to find a way to play fast and turn the ball over. Or, as LeBron says, like to have the kind of turnovers that are, aggressive turnovers. Turnovers that are, it's almost like a shot, right? You take this pass, and if the pass is made and it gets through, it's a basket. If not, it's out of bounds. It's a dead ball turnover, right?
Yes.
Like that's key. That's key. It's almost like a shot. It doesn't really count. Like, you turn the ball out of bounds, but we're making a scoring pass. That I think is key. I don't think that means it's exclusive. I don't think we have to play slow to win that battle. But it'll be interesting to see. We really got to be crushing glass to make that work.
Yes.
The other two things for me are, as I mentioned earlier, sort of baiting KD and Steph to the ISO ball a bit. They might burn us a bit, or like that. But the more they do it, the more I think it's going to hurt their team down the line. As questions get a little more precious, we might be able to throw some new things at them to mess them up. But I think the key, again, goes back towards KD is obviously, I think, the best player on the Warriors. But Steph is sort of like the secret weapon that if he's not going, it keeps us in games.
Yes.
Even Steph didn't play well in the first 2 games last year, and we still got blown out. But that was a crucial part of the formula. We made him work really hard on defense constantly, and that's his offensive game. And then it affected his defensive game, and it just created this virtuous circle. And that has to continue somehow. We got to figure out a way to do that and not let him hide on defense.
What do you think that means? Putting him in pick and rolls constantly. Running if he's guarding somebody. I mean, who does he guard?
I mean,
JR?
I think they put
starting lineup. He guards JR?
I think they put him on JR. They try to hide him on, they don't hide him on Kevin Love. Or if they do, no, I've never seen that. They always put him on JR, I feel like. But they put him on Kyrie too a little bit. But I know they don't. They don't. They put him on JR. They put him on JR. They love it when Mon Shumpert's out there. They'll throw him out there to guard Mon Shumpert. They'll just try to hide him on a guy who can't post him up. They may hide him on TT, I think. That would make sense.
No, I don't think they can get away with that.
No, because then TT will obviously set the screen. They hide him on JR. They do. And then, but that's the point. I think that they'll get switched on Curry and have the matchup they want, and then they're going to switch again just to run him through another pick.
Yeah.
I think that's the guy to do. Try and find ways to get extra screens on him. Right, have him chase players through the screens off ball. Just constantly put in motion. Whoever he's guarding has to know that they're the action guy for the ball.
Yeah.
If it's JR, go get the ball. Go run through screens and get 3-pointer. I think they'll do a lot of that. I think that's important.
That sounds right to me.
We got to start doing that a lot and doing every 2 or 3 plays. We got to keep focusing on that. I think that's a big key. All right, I guess that kind of covers it for me. You
wanna, Jesus, man, I'm worked up now, Patty. I'm getting excited over here.
I'm pumped. Do you have a prediction?
God, I mean, I don't know. If you put a gun to my head, I think the Warriors win in 6. Although that would be in Cleveland. I don't know, man.
If I'm thinking with my head, I'm thinking, Warriors in 5.
5.
But honestly, my gut tells me Cavs in 6. To play and take a lot of Shaq's books, like Shaq asked him, let me watch the first 2 games.
Yeah, that was so good after that. Ernie's like, let me watch the first 5 games, then I'll tell you.
And then I'll tell you who's going to win. I mean, because that's the thing. I see where he's coming from. I don't know what the Cavs are going to do. I don't know what they're going to be. I don't know what LeBron's going to do. With LeBron, anything's possible. You look at this on paper, there's no fucking chance. There's no way the Cavs should be, even with how good we've been in the playoffs. We've been better than we were last year in the playoffs.
Agreed.
Good. Offensively and defensively. It's been incredible. Part of it's been guys, but no, these are similar level talent teams we played last year. In fact, some of them were better than we played last year.
Yeah.
This is a better team. This is a better team than last year. But the other team added fucking KD.
Yeah.
I
go back to that Game 7, Patty, and watching Harrison Barnes miss all those jumpers. And we talked about this in the offseason. We were like, God, if it's KD shooting those threes, fuck.
It's fucked, right?
Game over, right? And we're running into that.
So I don't see it. So at the same time, part of it just has this gut feeling. It's I think we might get this in 6. It's there's here's the things that I count for on those stat sheets. The Warriors have a history of being a little mentally not tough.
Yeah.
There was a story going into the finals, the 2015 finals. How Iguodala was the one that calmed them down when they got rattled because they got rattled.
Yeah.
Draymond Green, as smart a player as he is fucking insane. He loses his shit and does stupid shit. We've seen how Clay and Curry have choked frequently and wilted under the pressure. KD has been a great clutch player throughout the his career in the regular season, but as we saw in Golden State, Oklahoma City last year, he blew 3-1 lead and disappeared from those games.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there is more pressure on the Warriors than there is on us, I think.
Way more.
Right?
This is KD's legacy.
Yeah.
If he loses this is unforgivable. this is embarrassing. This is worse than LeBron losing to Dallas.
Yeah.
Way worse. Way worse. I mean, geez. I mean, he can come back and win a title later, but I don't think he gets that stink off.
Yeah.
This is tough. And also, again, this is his first. He's trying to break through, and he's feeling the pressure, and he's had some trouble in these moments in the past. And also, LeBron has played really well.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's definitely true, too.
Regular season and postseason.
It really is. I mean, I know this is the talk, but it's what a fucking awesome finals.
This is so great. We started. I mean, part of it really. I mean, not just the shittiness of a sweep or something like that, but just I want this to be like better not like something.
Yeah.
Just it's what I'm expecting, and so who knows? Smart money is on Golden State, obviously, crushing, but I think the Cavs are taking 6.
I love it, Patty. I love it.
Until LeBron proves me wrong, the wrong way.
Yeah.
I gotta buy into him. I gotta believe in him until I know what he can't do.
Love it.
And so that's it. It's all barring injury. We'll see. Hopefully.
So we'll be back in everybody's ears Thursday night.
Thursday night around, I guess, 11:30ish.
Oh, later than that?
Fucking Christ.
I mean, the game will end at 11:30ish. I might be watching out in enemy territory, Patty. I'll be close to my house. I'll be able to get home quick to do this.
You can be home too, right? You can do on the walk home, walking through the mean streets of.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Just like that ad, right?
Yes.
Of all those guys.
Yeah, all those people. First of all, there's black people in that ad in San Francisco, so I know it's a lie. That was the first thing that clued me on.
All right. Well, I think that's it for the Cleveland Sports Hour. Until next time, Thursday night, that is. This is Maddie and Patty saying.